Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for this week's Bits and Bobs Progress part 47. And this week I am going to work on this little Hexie flower in a circle. And to remind you, in case you didn't know, because this is your first time watching, I originally made this Hexie in a circle for my June Let's Play mini quilt last year. And I originally just did the hexie in the circle, and then I did a chain stitch around the edge, and I really loved that. But it came to me afterwards to do this daisy in the middle of it, and I really loved how this turned out. So I decided to make another one of these for Bits and Bobs, and that's what this is. So I'll be appliquing the circle down first, then I'll do the chain stitch around the edge. And you could probably see it there. I've already drawn in with my mechanical pencil where I want to chain stitch the daisy. So that's what's happening this week. And progress on my, no, put that away. Progress on my little numero 1 piece. I realized and remembered that I had some wool pieces as well that my friend Sue sent along with the faux suede. So I pulled those out and I was trying them out. So that's the faux suede one. Put this off to the side. It's going here somewhere. I haven't fully figured that out, but this is the general area. So I tried the faux suede. It, to me, isn't a big enough difference of the background. Neither is this one here. It's still pretty similar. And then I tried the other things. The light blue was a little too light blue for me. This pink wasn't bad, but somehow I'm not liking this on the pinks. I have that pink piece of leather, the same thing. Yeah, but... and I was a little surprised with myself. I actually really love it on this piece of wool that has a couple of different blues and then a dark raspberry that I've also included in this quilt in different places. So that's the one I'm going to use, I think. Don't you think that's the best choice so far out of all that I've thought about? It's not going to be this big. I'm going to cut it down. Some of these I was thinking I could make into an oval and then put the number 1 in the middle of the oval. But I think for this piece, I don't want it oval. I think I'm just gonna cut it out so it's a similar frame, similar size frame around the piece. And I think that'll be, I do think up here and then moving this down is probably how I'm gonna go with that. But so that's where I am with that so far. I'm pleased I remembered the wool. All right, I'll be back when I have some progress. I've made some progress on the Hexie Flower in a circle. I, instead of getting up and moving to where I normally film, I just thought I'd hand hold the camera just to share. So I've appliqued the edge down the way I've done the rest, like that's the majority of this quilt is being seam under applique. I've done that on this circle, and then I did the chain stitch around the edge, and next I'm going to do the chain stitch around the petals in the center in the same blue. And something I wanted to point out is I made this hexie completely with all different fabrics, but slightly like they're the same color, but they're all from different prints. And I love that kind of playing with my stash. And to remind you what the flower is going to look like, this is it here. This is made to duplicate my original creation, which was this on my June Let's Play mini quilt. But the differences are, on this one I didn't applique the edge. I just did the chain stitch to attach it to the background. And if you notice, the yellow hexagons in this piece as well are all different, but pretty much the same color. So yeah, that was, I duplicated that over here with the blues. All right, when I make a little more progress on further along, I'll come back. All right, I finished my daisy flower in the center of the hexie flower. Yeah, I'm really enjoying how that turned out. The chain stitch is such a fun stitch, the way it chains together. Easy to do. Yeah, I really like how that turned out. And I like the design of the daisy within the hexie flower. I think that plays with the brain. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I did get this basted down. I haven't started stitching it yet. I do have this blue set aside to do the, I think it was this one, just to do the, no, it's not this one. It's the same as the number. It's in my stitching bowl. I'm going to do a running stitch around the edge of the white. And then for around the edge of the dark, I have these two set aside. I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to do yet, but I'm leaning towards this one because it's a little more raspberry-ish, and I think I'm going to do a blanket stitch around. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one. I found it in my collection now. It's a wicking yarn, and I've never wicked in my life. I think that's the one where you do all these little knots. I think so. I adopted this in a rose pink one from one of the Stitchers collections I was honored to adopt after the friend stopped stitching. So that was lovely, and I'm hoping I can use it for something even if it's not this. It's slightly a different kind of cotton to the stranded cotton. So we'll see. I'm not 100% sure which one, but I'm pretty sure what I'll use for the edging of this number one. I moved this down. I'm not quite ready to stitch it down completely because I do think I'm going to tuck something under here in this corner. I just don't know what yet. So I'm leaving that be for now. All right, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed my progress. Coming back next week, I guess I'm moving down the quilt this way. Oh, yes, I do think it's the silk ribbon carnations next. Wow, that's good. I told you last time this is starting to get a little beat up, not being attached, so I'm looking forward to getting that attached. All right, happy stitching everybody. Thanks for your interest, and I'll be back next week with more.